Hello and welcome to the Quest for Games. I'm Jerry, and in this video I'm going to do a how to play and a short review of the 1 to 4 player game Twinkle Twinkle that I kickstarted through an all play campaign. So it's distributed by All Play. The game's supposed to take 30 minutes. The times that I've played it, it seems like it's taken more like 45. We'll see 10 and up, but I think you could play with younger than that, depending upon the children that you're playing with. What is Twinkle Twinkle? Twinkle Twinkle is a game where you're supposed to be looking at the night sky and finding constellations, planets, satellites, and black holes, and looking at them, trying to get the most fame, I guess is the right way to say that. In reality, what does that mean? Well, there's tiles that you'll be picking up off of a track, and those tiles will have stars, novas, planets, satellites, and black holes, and you're going to put them down on your player board, trying to put them in the right pattern to get you the most victory points at the end of the game. My channel is not sponsored. I kickstarted this game. It did come with an expansion that I'm not going to cover. I'm just going to cover the base game. If you want me to cover the expansion, please add comments and I will try to get something together for that. But since my channel is not sponsored, all the opinions you'll hear during this intro, during the setup, the rules, how to play, and the final thoughts are mine and are not influenced by any manufacturer or anything like that. If you like what I'm doing, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. That would help me a lot. With all that said, let's get this to the table and start to teach. Hello and welcome to the table. Let's talk about setup for Twinkle Twinkle. I do have it zoomed in a little bit so that you can see the player board that we have to set up. I do have it set up for 3 players, but this is player 1, 2, and 3. And you can barely see their boards, but that's okay. We need to basically focus on this board. First thing we'll have to do for setup is you get your player board out, you take your chip or your player marker. You have to put a scoring board down the side of your player board. These are ones that'll attach or kind of slot into the side of your board. I have it set up for the early game or basic game. Each one of these tiles are 2-sided, and there's a blue side on the other side of the green side. That's a little bit more challenging for a little bit more challenging of a game if that's what you want. So then we have to set up this center board. I'm setting it up for a 3-player game, so you'll see that there's 3 here. On the opposite side, if you're setting up for a 2 or a 4-player game, you can see that there's 4, and there's a little thing here that tells you 2 to 4 players. But we're setting up for a 3-player game, so we're setting it up on this side. So the next thing we do in setup is we have to set up this board. So out of this bag, I have all the chips, and we will pull out chips one at a time. This is what the chips look like. They're clear. And so we will pull the chips out one at a time and place them on the board like this. And then we will pull chips out for the next layer, the next round, and place them on the board in a similar manner. And now I have this board all set up. As we're talking through setting this up, there are some chips that have this hourglass or clock symbol on them right there like that. That tells you need to slide them down this way. It even tells you on the board. If this chip had come out first, would have to slide it all the way down to the end down here and continue to fill in chips. But this one always slides all the way to the left when it comes out. Then we have to figure out player turn order. So we're going to say the blue players first, then the orange player, then the purple player. There's also a scoring board that we'll use at the end when we get to final scoring. So let's start talking about how you play the game. What is my objective? my objective is to fill in this board with these tiles like this into the squares and arrange them in a manner to get the most victory points. It says that we're trying to build the best constellation in night sky in our board, but you're trying to arrange them to get the most victory points. And you'll see on your player board that for the 2 longest constellations you have, you'll be able to get, based on how many stars are in it, you'll get a certain amount of victory points. For the total number of constellations you have, you will get a certain number of victory points. And then there's some criteria here down the side that says, how do I score for other things like comets? Each comet scores 1 point per star that's next to it. Planets, you score 3 points for every planet, at least in the basic rules. Asteroids, you score each cluster of asteroids based on this growing point value, right? So for your first asteroid, it's 2 points. So if you have 2 asteroids together like this, that's 5 points. 3 together in any kind of an order would give you 9 points. So diagonal, any which way, that's the 3, as long as they're close to each other. Over here, it doesn't count. Here, it doesn't count. They have to be kind of touching somehow, either diagonally or orthogonally. So that's the asteroids. So for black holes, for each black hole, you score 2 points if it's not beside another black hole. You score 3 points if it's not beside stars or planets. And then satellites, you score 3 points for every black hole or planet that's next to a satellite. So you got to think about these things while you're arranging your tiles on your night sky to try to achieve the most points. So let's start talking about turn order in the game rounds. So on your turn, so this is the blue is the first player, you'll pick one of these 4 tiles and pick it up and put it on your board. So let's just say that I'm going to pick this one. That'll also, if you look at this, it'll kind of tell you what your turn order is. By picking this one back here, I am now going to be 3rd next turn, but for whatever reason, I feel like I really want this one, so I'm going to take this one and put it on my board. Now I can put it on my board in any place that I want to. I don't have to start it in a corner. I can start it in the center. I could start it in this corner. I could put it basically any place that I want to put it. So I'm going to put it down here. While I have it out, I'm going to talk about these dotted lines. That's our constellations. If I have another star and I put it like this diagonal line across there does count. They are now still constellations. These 2 stars are in the constellation because of this dotted line here, but not because of those. If I put this like this, that is not considered part of the same constellation because it doesn't go straight across. It's got to go straight across like that to be considered part of the same constellation. That's part of the same constellation. These lines match up, so those are part of the same constellation. So that's how you figure out if your stars are in the same constellation. Then the next player would go and they're going to take this comet and put it on their board somewhere. And then this player is going to go and they're going to take the first spot up here and take this star and put it on their board. Now, at the end of that turn, we will shift all the players up to their spot, to the spots on the player board, which shows you the way that they're taking their turns. We will slide this one all the way to the end, and then these 3 come up. So you knew it was coming next when you took your turn order. So maybe the purple player understood that, yeah, I might not be taking the greatest piece right now, but it's going to give me the ability to go first next round. And then I have to fill in this board again. So I will take 1 chip at a time out of the bag. I will take 1 chip at a time out of the bag and put it on the board again, and remembering that if any of them had that slow time on it, they would have to slide over to the side. We'll continue to keep doing that, taking our turns. So this person's first. They decide they wanted this one. So they took that and put it on their board. Then the orange player is going to take the black hole and put it on their board somewhere. And now the blue player goes again, and they're going to take this one and put it on their board. Once this one was laid, I can't move it anymore. But I can put this one down and connect these two, and I have the beginnings of a constellation going because I have 2 stars in that constellation. I need to point out that I can rotate this any way I want to. I can flip it over if I want to, any way that I want, so that I'm getting something that's in the place that I want. But once I put it someplace, it's staying there and I can't move it. And I could, if I wanted to, put it up here. It wouldn't matter. I don't have to put it next to or connecting to a tile. I just so happened that I wanted to put it there because I know it's the beginning of a constellation. And again, now we move everybody up 1, and we'll see blue is last again, and orange is now first, and purple is now second. We slide this one over, we pull these up, reach into the bag, and put out tiles from the bag. And that's our round. We keep doing this turn after turn until our board is full. Let's fast forward a little bit and get the game a little bit more interesting. I have fast forwarded to the last 2 turns of the game to try to talk through some of the decision-making process you may have to go through while you're doing your turns. So blue player is first up. So they get to choose a tile next. They have this spot and this spot on their board. Well, this spot, they need a star over here that's a straight line. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stars in this cluster right here, and they want 8 to get the most maximum points. This spot here, they have 1, 2, 3, 4 stars. They have 4 stars in this constellation, which isn't maximum points, 5 stars. 2 here, 2 here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he probably wants to try to do his best to make that an 8. It's 4 points for making this one an 8. This one's a 4. To bring it up to a 5 is 4 points. So I guess it doesn't matter. It's the same number of points. But he's got this asteroid that he could put an asteroid right there. There's an asteroid right here. He could put an asteroid right there, which would give him 3 asteroids together. And that 3 asteroids together would give him 9 points as opposed to just the 2 5s. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to take the asteroid, which also lets them go first next turn. And maybe this set of stars here, it will help them up here. I don't know. So then it'll be orange's turn. And orange is going to, well, they don't want this black hole because that's going to cause them some problems. They need stars also. So they're going to take this star here. Nope, they don't want that. I know you can't see their board, but that would have given them 11 stars. So they don't want that. Their thing's already at where it should be. What about a black hole? Does a black hole care if it's around stars? Oh no, not beside stars or planets. So it doesn't want to be by stars. So I guess they're going to take the planet and put the planet on their board. So they went there to take the planet. And then it's purple player's turn. And the purple player doesn't want anything that's out there right now. So they've got a bad decision. So the purple player takes the black hole. So now this slides down, these slide up, and we would replay, but there's really only one round left, but I'll put them out there anyway. Okay, so this set of stars is still available. So they're gonna, we slide everybody up to their spots, right? Blue player gets to go first. Blue player is gonna take that, and they're gonna take this set of stars, which links up to that set of stars, and they now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stars in that constellation. the orange player, the asteroid, and the purple player is going to take these stars. So that's the end of the game. There's a tile in every spot. Let's walk through blue's end game score. First thing we're supposed to look at, and here's the scoring board. The first thing we're supposed to look at is your first constellation, your largest constellation. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This star is not connected. It doesn't, well, maybe it is. Yeah, it is. That star's connected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stars in that constellation. So there's 6 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. So this is 6 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's their largest. That's 7. That's 2. That's 2. So we've got 7 in this one. So their largest constellation is 7. And so they get, for having their largest constellation being 7, so they got 21 points for that. Blue players to fish. Their second largest constellation, well, we have 2 that are tied. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or maybe that guy's not even classified in the constellation. So we'll just say 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's their second largest is 6. And for 6, we get 16. The next thing we're supposed to check is how many constellations do they have? Well, here's one constellation. Here's another constellation. These 2 together, and there's a little dot there, so they constitute another one. So that's 1, 2, 3. There's a 4th, and there's a 5th. So they have 5 constellations, and that's 14 points. So now we're supposed to count up the nova stars, which are the ones that look like this. So we have 1, 2, 3, right here with this asteroid. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of those, they're worth 1 point apiece, and they're not next to any black holes, so that's 8 points. Next thing we do is comets. They've got 1 comet there. That's the only comet they have. And comets want to have stars nearby. You get 1 point for each star. So there's some terms that we have to make sure we're clear on here. This says each comet scores 1 point per star besides it. And the rule book says besides it means that it has to be orthogonally adjacent, not diagonal. The only thing that does diagonal adjacency is the asteroids. So this comet, this one doesn't count. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stars around this comet. So for that comet, they get 6 points. Next thing we have is planets. Well, they have 1, 2 planets out here. Each planet scores us 3 points. So that's 6. Then we have to do asteroids. They have 1, 2, 3 asteroids, and they're all connected. So 3 asteroids connected is 9 points. Then we have to do black holes. They don't have any black holes, so they get 0 for that. And then we have to do satellites. Satellites want planets or black holes around them, and they get 3 points. Well, there's 2 planets by this satellite, so that's 3 points apiece. So that's 6 more points. So I've moved the orange board over so we can start talking about some other interesting things that happened during this game. So they have 1 constellation here of 4. This guy is not in a constellation because there's no line that connects these 2. They have this constellation here of 4. This doesn't connect to anything because these are going at this right angle against it. But these 2 across these 3, that is a constellation. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in this constellation. Well, 8's the max, so they would have gotten the max of 8 for their largest constellation, which is 25 nova stars. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, Oh, yeah, 4. Because see this black hole? That's not considered adjacent. It's diagonal. It's these two that are concerned for the black hole. So this one counts. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one thing I'm trying to show here is the black hole doesn't go this direction. It doesn't go diagonally. It only goes orthogonally. So this, even though it says that if it's next to a black hole, it doesn't count. It doesn't, this is not considered next to the black hole or beside the black hole because it's not orthogonal. The only thing that goes diagonally is the asteroids. For their comet, again, we're only doing orthogonally, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stars for their comet. Okay, so for planets, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planets. This planet is not considered adjacent to the black hole because it's diagonal, not orthogonal. So they have 5 planets. Each planet is worth 3, so that's 15 for them. They have 1 asteroid all by itself out here, so for the asteroid, they only get 2 points. They do have a black hole, and the black hole is not beside any stars or planets. So the black hole is worth 5 points. For satellites, this satellite has 1, 2, 3 planets around it, and satellites like planets or black holes beside them. Each one's worth 3 points. So that's 3, 6, 9 for that. But they have another satellite down here that has a black hole next to it, which they like, so it's another 3. This planet gets shared by the 2, so it's another 3. And this planet here is also there, so that's another 3, 6, 9. So that's 18 points total. So for the purple player, we have some interesting constellation things going on here. This set of constellations, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That one there's no line to it, so it doesn't count. So although this would have looked on the surface as being an 8, it's only a 7 because there's no line out to this nova star. So it's important to note that this nova star, when we're starting to talk about novas, it doesn't count because it's next to this black hole. It's orthogonally next to this black hole, so that nova doesn't count. This black hole, as far as I understand it, didn't affect this constellation at all, but this nova doesn't count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 novas. That 6th one does not count. So they have 5 nova stars. So then we move on to comets. They have 2 comets here. This comet has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars around it. This comet shares these 2 sets. So it still has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 around it. And these 2 comets, even though they're next to each other like this, they share these stars, and those stars count. For the black hole, the 2 black holes are not next to each other. So the 2 black holes both are worth 2 points apiece so far. This black hole doesn't get the extra 3 because to get the extra 3, you have to have no stars or planets next to it, and it has stars next to it. So this one's only worth 2, where this black hole has got no stars next to it, so he's worth 5. So 5, 8. So the final score for this game was that the orange player won with a 95. The blue player had 86 and the purple player had 81. So that's it for final scoring. Let's go to final thoughts. Final thoughts for Twinkle Twinkle. Build quality. The player board's a nice thick cardboard. These pieces for the scoring that dock into the side and that you can flip to make them advanced or standard is really nice. It's a nice idea, and they're nice thick cardboard. The center board is nice, good thick cardboard. These pieces that I was using are ones that came with my Kickstarter. The standard ones are just going to be a cardboard standee, but I still think the cardboard standee is good. And these clear tiles are a good build quality. It does come with a erasable scoreboard, which also was kind of nice. I think that's standard. I don't think it's part of my Kickstarter. This bag is a really nice bag, and it's got a nice flat bottom, so it's easy to keep setting up on your table. It doesn't have to lay flat like a lot of the other bags that I've seen where they put chips in. So the build quality is really good. Pros and cons. Cons. The game seems pretty simple to play, and the mechanics are seemingly pretty simple. But then when you get the final scoring, and there's some odd things in there, like black holes don't count diagonally, they only count orthogonally, but asteroids count diagonally. And then when you get into some of the more advanced rules, all of a sudden other things start to count diagonally, like the comet wants to look at constellations. So there's a little bit of finicky stuff in how you score this at the end. The crystal tiles are nice, but the see-through nature of this tile really doesn't add much to the game. Yeah, I can see through and see my night sky, but I would understand that they were clear if there was something underneath there that said, oh yeah, I'm stacking these two, and so something's going to happen because I had to stack the two, or I'm putting it over top of a tile that gives me more points. But nothing like that's happening. So the clear nature of these tiles really doesn't add anything to the game. I don't know that that's a con, but pros. I do like this board that's in the middle and the fact that you know what's coming up next round. And so that gives you this little thinky thing that you've got to do about, well, I could suboptimally take something here to make sure that I'm in the beginning so that I get the first round and I get to take the tile that's coming up next to be the one that I want, because I know what's coming next and I really want that one. So I'm going to put myself to make a suboptimal play this time to get a better play next time. Also, I can try to get into the head of my opponents, just looking at their board and saying, oh, that particular star setup would really be nice on their board. So I think they're going to go for that. So I don't have to go that far down because I think they're going to do that. And I can go a little higher, or, I can be in a little bit of a different place because I really think they're going to go for that tile. I think they're going to go for that tile. And if I'm right, I can go for this tile. But if I'm wrong, oh no, now they get to go first and they may take my tile that I was looking for that's coming up next. That whole little exchange right there, I think, is really nice. And it's nice and right and confined into this on this little board. So this is going to seem kind of weird because I mentioned it as a con, but as a pro, the game is pretty easy to teach. And if you're really not too worried about the final score, you're more worried about having fun and trying to build my constellation. And if my score is better than anybody else's, great. If not, okay. If you're that kind of player, then it's easy to play and it's easy to teach. Is this game for you? Well, the game is on the surface pretty simple. You're picking tiles up and you're putting them onto your board. There's 20 tiles that go onto your board, so that goes back and forth 20 times. Box says 30 minutes. I think 30 to 45 is probably what it's taken us to play. It seems to take us longer to score than it does to actually put the tiles on the board. So for that part, it's pretty quick, and it's a nice, quick little game, not too stressful. So if that appeals to you, great. What might not appeal to you is, I talked about this a few times, the scoring. Scoring seems a little finicky. The scoring gets even more finicky, if you ask me, when you start using the advanced side of some of the boards. I would suggest not to go to the advanced side of the boards, all of the boards at one time. Pick and choose a few, flip over 2 maybe, or 3, probably 2, and then 3. But don't go all the way whole hog to everything's going advanced because I played the game once or twice. It is the kind of game that you're going to have to play 2 or 3 times to understand the scoring so that you can get yourself a good score or a better score. And so if that doesn't appeal to you, that you got to play it a few times to understand the right way to score it, then, again, maybe that's not something that you like. I keep hitting on scoring. There is a thing in the All Play app that they say is coming soon that's supposed to allow you to basically take a picture of your board and it'll automatically score it for you. It hasn't come out yet. That'll probably solve a lot of these problems that I'm complaining about, but right now it doesn't exist yet. Okay, what's my score, or what's my rating? My rating for this game is a 7. I still recommend it. If anybody asks me to play it, I'll put it out on the table. If I didn't have it and I was looking to buy something, this would be on the list of things that I would think about buying. Maybe not at the top, but it would be on the list. So I think that's it for final thoughts. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please like the video and subscribe to my channel if you like what I'm doing. Have fun playing games, and I'll see you next time. Bye.